Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to Just Minding My Business. I hope you had an amazing day, full of joy and peace and all the stuff that life should be about. Today, we're bringing Ashley Tate, who is a 29-year-old and a resident of Baltimore, Maryland. She is a mother of 3 beautiful girls and an author and motivational speaker. Ashley has written 2 books called Crowned, A Spiritual Journey Guide, and Crowned, I Promise to Never Be Broken Again. Ashley says she wrote these inspirational prayer journal books explaining her obstacles, triumphs, and tribulations that she had to overcome, such as homelessness, domestic violence, low self-esteem, and also being a foster youth at the age of 15. Well, welcome, Ashley.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Ashley. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being on today.
Absolutely. So we know that you're about to be a light for somebody else. So can you just take us through your journey?
Oh, wow. Well, my journey began when I was very young. I lost my grandmother when I was 12 years old. And when she passed, it was a very troubling time for me. So following my grandmother's death, I've had some child trauma in my life. But when I was 15, I put my own self in foster care to, get away from the mental and emotional abuse I was suffering from my mom. So as I was in foster care, I was very rebellious. I was very angry. And oftentimes I questioned where my life was heading into because I seen nothing but destruction ahead of me. As I aged out of foster care, I met an older guy, and I thought I fell in love with him. And he began to be very violent towards me. I tried to run away from him by going as a student at Morgan State University. And there I found I became pregnant with my first child. And I was really scared to be a mother at first because I just didn't know what love was, and I was very scared I was going to fail as a parent. And I've had a lot of negative thoughts about myself and my life. And now I am 29 years old with 3 beautiful children, so I just thank God. So out of everything I've ever gone through, He has still kept me through, and He still kept me going. Even when I wanted to give up on myself, He didn't allow me to give up, so I thank God to Him every day.
So the book that you have, A Spiritual Journey Guide.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, A Spiritual Journey Guide, I started writing in March of this year. It just came, I always loved affirmations. All through my journey of trouble and trials and tribulations, I've always read affirmations. And affirmations always gave me a sense of security and peace. And I've always prayed to God every day during my trials and my tribulations. So I thought I would combine that with prayer pages, affirmations, like pages of affirmations, and I'm a little sharing my story. I talk about having low self-esteem, which I have suffered when I was a child. I talk about how to get out of a domestic violence situation, finding your self-worth and your self-love within yourself.
Mm. So going through this at such a young age, uh, how are you using your experiences to help other women and teen girls who might be going through a similar situation?
Well, I actually go to organizations. I went to, it's a very great organization. It's called Aramenta Freedom Initiative. I came there and I spoke to the young ladies about my story and about the things that I've went through and what I've learned from that and how much God has helped me to overcome it. You know, without God, I don't know where I would be. So my vision and my goal is to share my story and to share my experiences and to let them know that I've been in their shoes. I know what they're going through. I know how they're feeling because I've been there. And I definitely want to show them how much God is such a provider and he's such, you know, he saved me through times where I could have been dead. And I just want to just show the world and show young girls that whatever you're going through, don't let it make you or break you, and you're not your past. You have to focus on your future, and that forgiveness is key in order to press through in your journey.
I think you've hit on one of the major issues that we all have in life, and I think that's just powerful, the issue of forgiveness.
Yes.
Because if we don't forgive, it just holds you back. Can you talk
Yes.
about a little bit more about your process that you went through as you started being able to forgive people?
Oh, wow. The first person I had to forgive was myself. In order for me to forgive myself, it took a lot. Like, I'm 29 years old. I just started this process just this year alone. And it takes time. I had to forgive myself first. I had to forgive my mother and my father because I had to realize in their situation, they were young when they had me. I had my first child at 22, and both my parents had me at a very young age, so I had to understand where they were in their journey. And then I had to forgive the people who have done really, really bad things to me. And for a long time before this year, it consumed me. I had so much anger built inside of me, so much just fire. But the more and more I started writing, it just lowered them flames down. You know, writing really helps, and prayer really, really helps. And sometimes you have to forgive people. It's just like how you said, it can really hold you back. And for so long, I kept on wondering, like, where am I not at the place where I need to be at? Like, you know, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's because I was holding so much in. You know, I missed my grandmother. I missed my aunt who had died 2 days after I spoke to her. So it took a lot of time for me to forgive. And I just started the process this year. I began writing, reading affirmations, mirror talking to myself, and writing letters to myself, and burning them or ripping them up as a sign to say that I'm letting it go.
You know, again, you hit on a powerful tool. Writing is a powerful tool in the process of our own recovery. And one of the most powerful ones is when you start writing a letter, let's say to your mother or to your father, or a letter to yourself, and you really write down your feelings. It can be a powerful, powerful experience. And you're always told you don't have to give it to anyone, just get the thoughts out, get the words out. And I know I've done that, and it really helps to your knees, because sometimes you don't realize what it is that you're feeling until you put it down on paper.
Until you actually see, like, for yourself. Yeah.
So the power.
Because that's a tool that you can use with yourself. You don't have to have anyone directing you. Just have a box of Kleenex nearby, because you're going to need them. And if you have a trusted friend, you can share it with them. but it is a powerful tool, and I hope our listening audience picks up on that, because you never know who's listening, who's thinking, man, I need to get there's some things I need to say, and I've never been able to say them. Sometimes those people have passed on. So it's a powerful tool. Thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely.
Oh, no problem. I love writing. That's how I wrote 2 books in a year. I love writing. And it's just like, once you write it on paper, it's like, slowly but surely, it's like you letting it go. And another thing that also worked with me is also praying and, just spending that one-on-one time with God. Like, if you just read the Bible, to read the devotional books and pray. If you got to go in the war room in your own home, you have to pray these days. And whenever I prayed and I left everything to God, it was like he just provided all of my needs. It's like he took all that worry and pain out of my heart. And like I said, this year I'm just starting this process, and I'm very happy that I started, because I was holding so much pain and hurt and shame and guilt. And once I started writing and I started getting that connection with God, it's just like things have been, different for me.
Wow.
Again, you keep bringing up these issues that are just so major that people so often don't think about. In our lives, we are often shamed for things that we had really no control over. When I say no control over, we didn't know what we needed to know. We didn't have the information that we needed to have to make right decisions. And as a result, people will shame you for things that at that time, at that moment in your life, you had no control over. And shame just, I can't even find the words to explain what shame does. It just totally cuts you off as a person. It cuts you off from who you are, and it won't allow you to become who you are, because shame makes you live in a certain space that's separate from yourself and separate from anyone else, because you can't let anybody know. And that's the courage that I see in your writing. The fact that you're sharing that. Anytime I find a writer who can share who they are, I have tremendous respect for them.
Yes.
Thank you.
It takes courage.
Thank you.
Courage to step out of the shame and say, this is who I am, this is who I was, and this is who I want to be, who I'm growing to be.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
So I just really admire you. And I was at the event on Saturday, and I enjoyed your share, your presentation. You were very nervous about it, but it was honest.
I was. Oh my God, did you see it in my face? I was so nervous.
But it was an excellent presentation, because you were very real. You were very much who you are.
Yes, and just being able to get up there and share your experiences. And the event we met her at, by the way, was God's Vision Corp. And it was a definitely powerful event. And Miss Ash is there telling the people in the audience her life and what she's been through. And I just want to say that was a brave thing to do. Many people cannot do it, and you did it. And you did it afraid, and that's real important as well. So one of the questions that I have for you, your turning point. Yeah, when did you decide to make your shift to something else?
Ooh, the day that I had my third child. The day I had my third child, she is now about to be 8 months. Actually, you probably seen her at the event. I had all 3 of my girls there. Well, one of the reasons why I decided to shift was because I had my third child, and I had 2 other children looking up to me that needed me to do something with my life and to stop being so angry and to stop, procrastinating what I was destined to do by God, and that was by sharing my story. But I was always afraid. I was afraid of people judging me, or not taking me seriously. And also another thing that gave me my shift was because I was tired of going through the same things over and over and over again, and having people in my life that tore me down. And that's another thing. For people to grow in this day and time and to grow spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, they have to let people go. Because it's like the more you keep negative people in your life, it's going to keep wearing you down. It's not going to allow you to shift. So once you start changing your people, your places, and your things, then you can start your shift. You can start your journey. After you forgive, after you love yourself, and after you forgive yourself, then it's that time to remove people out of your life. And I didn't want to be old and, with my children and still angry and still bitter and still just not doing anything with my life. So those are like the top main things of why I chose my shift. It's because I'm a mom. I'm 29. I'm a Black woman in Baltimore. We have to do something. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, agreeing with you, for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely those key things that you need to shift into your greatness, to shift into your season. You have to let those people go. Because just like how you said, when people are always putting shame and guilt on you, how can you shift in so much negativity and so much toxicity in your life? And how you also respond to negativity is also a key factor as well. So I believe those factors are why I chose to shift.
Now, let me ask you another question. Since your shift, do you see a difference in your children?
Yes, they're more happier. They're more happier. They're definitely more happier. They're very proud of me. They always tell their friends at school that, my mommy writes books, or my mommy got up and did a speech. And it's a very beautiful thing. And sometimes being a single mom is very overwhelming.
Ooh, I know.
Very overwhelming. I mean, oh my God.
It can be overwhelming with a significant other because a lot of weight falls on mom.
Yeah, definitely. With my first child, she is 6. With my first child, her father and I, that was the guy I met while I was in foster care when he was abusive to me. And at that time, I said, I have a child by this man. I can't be a single mom. But then again, it was like God was speaking to me. If he can do that to you, he can put your child in danger. If he can do that so much to you, what is he saying? What if one day he kills you? Then what? Or what if one day I'm out of self-defense, or I kill him? Who would my child have? So I had to think about those things, and I became a single mother that way. And with my second child's father, he was killed when my second child was 2 years old. So it was really hard, and I don't regret my kids at all. I love them. I love them with everything in me. But it's just, I just wish that I chose, the right partners to have them with, and I was more cautious about the men that I decided to have a baby with. And with my third child, there's a chance that I can lose him in the justice system. I'm in the justice system, and and it's very scary. It's very scary, but I'm strong. I went through way worse. I've been homeless with my kids. I had to do things I was not proud of to make sure that my kids and I survived out here. I've been in a lot of other pain, and I'm strong, and it's going to be hard. But if that ever happens, I got to press forward. I have to press forward, and I'm preparing for that every day. And then the system doesn't make it easy for us neither, or for Black men also as well. So it's I can lose him at any day, and I don't want to because he's a great man. He takes care of, he makes sure that all of our needs are provided, even for the 2 kids that he didn't even father. But, I'm used to, being a single mom. So I just got to prepare myself for that. I got to be strong to say, even though this happened, I'm going to keep pushing.
Now, one of the things your support systems, they're obviously very, very strong for you to be where you are now.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about, support systems? Because a lot of times when trauma happens, we try to sometimes deal with them alone.
Mm.
And mental health is very important for you to move forward. And sometimes you need assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk a little bit about having support systems?
Having a support system is very crucial while you're on your journey of recovery and healing. My support system has to come from my pastors and religious leaders. I actually know quite a few great pastors, ministers, mentors. I actually have a mentor. I go see my therapist all the time. I love my therapist. I've been going to her for the past 2 years. And I also have a support system of family and friends. And the one thing about support systems is that you have to know who is choosing your support system. You see, not everybody can be in your support system, because sometimes when you have the wrong people in your support system, how can I say this? This is sometimes, oh, wow. I thought I had a lot of support systems my whole life, who the people who I thought would never turn their backs on me at my darkest times did. So I had to be mindful of who my support came from. It had to come from people who wanted me to win. It had to come from people who had my best interest at heart. It had to come from people who motivate me and to tell me to keep going and to tell me to keep pushing. And no matter how tough life gets, you have to keep going. But then you have some certain support systems that want to take from you, or want to beat you down, or want to give you negative support. I've had the sides of both worlds my whole life. And that's why I was always so, caught up, going over this place and going over that place. So I had to be really mindful of my support system. And support system is really, really crucial, because you need that strong support of people that if you say, hey, I'm hungry, or I can't feed my kids, what should I do? And they'll actually, give you resources, or they'll help you get food, So I've had so many support systems. I actually go through HCAM, Healthcare Access Maryland, for my resources. I go through JNA Positive Image and Bright Future Community Health for my supportive services. Especially if you are a mother, you need that supportive services. And as well as me being an author and a speaker, I also provide resources and support for single mothers and teenage girls as well.
How can people get your book and get in contact with you?
Oh, well, because I'm a first-time author, I actually sell my books on hand. I've actually gotten my books into Morningstar Baptist Church, so more inventory should be coming soon. But in the meantime, I sell them on hand. People can reach me at, it's okay if I give my number out online?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It is 443-414, I got a lot of fours, 443-414-4469. And they can use that to call me to book speaking engagements for resources and support, and also to purchase the books.
Okay, so I see that your target market is like teenage girls, foster youth, and single mothers.
And also domestic violence victims. And also, I'm also an advocate for sex trafficking, for sex trafficking victims. Actually, tomorrow I have to come out to Ocean City, Maryland, and speak on a panel tomorrow um, in front of professionals in their field on how we can prevent it um, in Baltimore and other surrounding cities and states. And that's another issue that I've always wanted to talk about is because it's so many girls, like, like little young girls around my children's ages, being abducted and, the terrible things are happening to them. And I would like to come out as an advocate for the Black community and speak on that at the panel tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Awesome. That is awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
I am so
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
I really am, because from all that you've gone through, you're still pushing through and you're using what has happened to you to support other people, and that's huge. And sometimes God put us through things for a reason. At the time when we're going through them, it's the most horrific thing in the world.
Yeah.
But then once you push through, then he also says, now I want you to go out and help other people like I helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am very proud to know you, to have met you.
Thank you. I'm very proud of Mel. Yes, me too.
Yeah, it's been your testimony in the event was just, even though you probably didn't realize it because you were shaking at the knees, but it was
Powerful.
It was very
Thank
powerful.
you.
And just know, we filmed the entire thing.
Huh?
We filmed the entire event.
Oh, okay.
So that whole event will be airing on our local television station.
Oh, that is awesome.
So we can't wait for people to experience you.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, man, I'm overwhelmed with joy right now. That is awesome.
And your message is one that will resonate. It has nothing to do with race, the color of your skin, the language you speak. There are so many young women who have had your experiences and they have no voice. So to hear you speak so honestly about your experiences is going to give other women courage.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, give everybody your contact information and how they can get the book. If they want to contact you and get the book, if they're not able to go to an event where you're going to be, how can they get it?
Okay. So my Instagram is at author Ashley Tate. That's author Ashley Tate. I'm sorry. My Facebook is author Ashley Tate. My Instagram is at author Ashley T. My cell phone number is 443-414-4469. And again, if they would like to purchase the book or call me for support or resources, I can be reached at that number, or they can reach me out at my email, which is ATATE9@gmail.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
Ashley.
It's been a
Thank you. And what's your name?
I'm Ruth.
Hi, Miss Ruth.
Hi, how are you, Ashley?
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Like I said, I really enjoyed your presentation, and I know you're going to do well and that you're going to be a voice for many people and help them get their voice. So just keep pushing on. Keep moving forward.
You're definitely going to change
we'll go on my
lives.
side.
Yes, you're going to change some lives.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and you have a blessed event tomorrow.
Yes.
I am so proud of who you've become.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to more collaborations.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. It's nice meeting everyone.
Absolutely.
Take care now, love.
You too.
Word on the street says there's something new at Just Minding My Business Media. You've heard our podcast, Just Minding My Business Radio, that brings news and views you can use. That airs every Thursday at 6 p.m. on iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and Spreaker. Well, now you can watch Just Minding My Business. That's right, Just Minding My Business Media now has a TV presence on Raven International TV Network, broadcast on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. Your business, through Just Minding My Business Media, has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV, through Just Minding My Business dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmb.asistercircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level. Thank you to the amazing women of A Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, and our media partners. Let Just Minding My Business Media promote your business. For information, visit us at jmb.asistercircle.org. That's jmb.asistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks. For when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.